everybody. Thanks for listening to Wake Up, Look Up, a podcast where we connect events happening in real time to the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Zach Wyrock. And in today's episode, we're asking the question, are we terrorists? That's because I read an article this week that had the auspicious headline, "The Christian Radicals Are Coming." And I thought, oh man, that sounds scary, and I don't want to be a Christian radical. What does that mean? But reading the article showed that it was really about a small subsect of Christianity, a movement called the New Apostolic Reformation, which has launched a tent revival style political tour across the United States called the Courage Tour. And they're saying predictable things like Donald Trump is God's appointed ruler and that Christians should do whatever it takes to get him elected. They are saying things that are vaguely sounding violent, that could be metaphorical or could be literal. Listen, it's scary stuff. I wouldn't go to one of their events. I wouldn't want you to go to one of their events. They do not represent the gospel of Jesus that I find in the New Testament. It's troubling, to be sure, but the tenor of the article suggests that just as Christians were behind the January 6th insurrection, a point, by the way, that I'm not sure anyone has proven or could prove, they are also going to be behind a potentially violent movement to install Donald Trump as president. They are essentially saying that radical Protestant Christians are the threat to our country. Is that true? Should we feel bad about being terrorists? The answer, of course, is no. What the article really does a really bad job of pointing out is that the New Apostolic Reformation movement comprises about 3 million people. Now that sounds staggering, right? 3 million, that's a lot of people. And you can just visualize 3 million people mobilizing on Washington. That would be a problem. But actually 3 million people within the overall banner of Protestantism is a drop in the bucket. It's not even really a drop. Like, for example, in the United States, there are 140 million Protestant Christians. That means that the New Apostolic Reformation represents 2% of the Christians in America. 2%. That's nothing. 3 million people in this movement pales in comparison, for example, to 71 million Catholics, 13 million Southern Baptists, 8 million National Baptists, almost 6 million United Methodists. This is a very, very small portion of Christianity. Using this group of people to represent a larger group of people and painting them out to be dangerous is like saying that because there's one Muslim terrorist, all Muslims are terrorists, which of course is something that the magazine I read would never do. But somehow it's fair game for Christians. The truth is that the overwhelming majority of Protestant Christians neither believe that Donald Trump is God's anointed or that we should use violence to install anyone into office. The overwhelming majority of Christians believe what Jesus taught about loving your neighbor, about honoring the government no matter who's in charge, about believing that Jesus' kingdom is not of this earth, but is actually of something greater. The overwhelming majority of Christians put their hope not in a political candidate, but in the promise of Jesus in the book of Revelation that he is making all things new. Listen, frankly, I'm tired of mischaracterizing Christians. I'm tired of letting a few lunatic fringe members of quote unquote Christianity speak for all of us. I'm tired of lazy media that makes that comparison. Christians do all kinds of things that make this country a better place. We're going to do those things, by the way, whether Kamala Harris gets elected or Donald Trump, because we don't do them for the political party. We do them for the glory of our Lord Jesus Christ and the good of our neighbors and our community. Are we terrorists? Not even close, no matter how much lazy journalists try to make us out to be. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. While you're here, we'd love to ask you to hit subscribe or to like so you get future content. If you listen to the audio version too, make sure you leave a review and a comment. That really helps. Consider sharing it on social media and helping us get the word out. And hey, while you're here, check out all the other content that Christ Community Chapel is putting out, including the videos that are around me right now.